Windows 11 has significantly higher system requirements compared to previous versions of Windows, so there are a lot of unsupported PCs you can't install it on. The most notable change for many is the new requirement for a trusted platform module, but it also bumps the minimum RAM required to 4 GB, and it requires an x64-based processor. All of that means that many users are left without an official path to upgrade to Windows 11, even if their PC still runs well enough for them. While there isn't much you can do about compatibility if you have a 32-bit CPU, you can bypass the requirements for specific CPUs or TPM support, which allows most Windows PCs to upgrade to Windows 11. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do that. One thing that's worth keeping in mind before starting this process is that in some cases, your PC may have TPM or Secure Boot support, but it's disabled in the BIOS. So first, you should make sure Secure Boot is enabled alongside TPM. Here's how. First, restart your computer. When you see the logo, repeatedly press the boot key for your system. Once in the boot selection menu, go down using the down arrow key, select the BIOS settings and hit enter. Once in the BIOS settings, click the plus icon next to the Secure Boot option. Here, click on Secure Boot Enable and enable the Secure Boot. Next up is enabling the TPM. Click the plus icon next to Security and go to TPM Security. Here, allow this as well. Now click Apply and Exit. Now the setup should proceed as normal. If you don't find these settings, they might not be supported, which is where our next options come in. The next option is to use Rufus to bypass the requirements, since it can bypass TPM, Secure Boot, and RAM requirements. For this, you'll need a USB flash drive. Here's what you need to do to get this working. Start by downloading an ISO file for Windows 11 from the link in the description. The option to download an ISO is the third one, but you can also create an ISO using the media creation tool on this page. Then, download the latest version of Rufus from the official website. The download link is in the description. Then plug in the USB flash drive you're going to use as installation media. Launch Rufus and pay attention to the options you'll see here. Start by choosing the right flash drive under the device near the top. Under Boot Selection, click the Select button and look for the ISO file you downloaded. A few default settings will be applied, and you shouldn't need to change them. You can change the name of the drive if you want it to be easier to identify, though. Then, click Start at the bottom of the window, and you'll see a prompt with a series of options, but the only one you need is at the top. This will disable all the compatibility checks for Secure Boot, TPM, specific CPUs, and even RAM. It should be enabled by default, but if it isn't, make sure to enable it. Click OK, and Rufus will start moving the Windows 11 installation files to the flash drive. This process can take a while. When the process is finished, you'll have a USB flash drive that you can use to install Windows 11 on almost any PC that doesn't meet the requirements. To do that, restart your computer, and when it's starting again, press the boot key for your computer. Then select Boot from USB drive. Now install the Windows by following the setup's instructions. One other method is that you can install Windows after bypassing the warning through Rufus. To do so, first open Rufus. Then select the USB and open the ISO file of Windows 11. Now click Start and a pop-up will appear. On this pop-up, click the first option and then click OK. Now Rufus will start moving the installation files to the USB. Once it's done, open the USB. Run the setup file from here. This should open the Windows 11 setup. Continue with the setup and it should upgrade Windows on your PC. One way you can try to bypass the system requirements for Windows 11 is to modify some registry values on your PC using the Registry editor. The first thing you'll want to do is download an ISO for Windows 11, just like we did for the method above. Then follow these steps. Open the Start menu and type regedit, then choose the first search result. The Registry editor should open. On the left side pane, navigate to HKey Local Machine, then click System, then Setup, and lastly click Mo Setup. Right-click the empty space on the right and select New. Then select Toward 32-bit value. Name it Allow upgrades with unsupported TPM or CPU. Now, double-click it and set the value to 1, then click OK. Now, double-click the ISO file you downloaded to mount it as a virtual drive. The drive should automatically open after mounting it, or you can find it on the This PC page. Run the setup file inside and begin the installation. If your only hurdle was CPU compatibility or having an older TPM, the installation should now proceed as normal. If that still doesn't work, it may be because your PC has no TPM whatsoever, which may be the case for many custom-built PCs. In that case, you'll need to try one of the other methods. There's one final solution that can help. Running Registry Editor during the setup process allows you to completely bypass TPM and Secure Boot checks, which makes this a great method for desktop PCs without a TPM. Here's how it works. Insert the USB flash drive into the computer and boot from it. When you get to the language selection screen, press Shift F10 to open Command Prompt. Type regedit and press Enter to open the Registry Editor. In Registry Editor, navigate to this location using the sidebar. H-key local machine, then select System, then click Setup. Right-click the Setup folder and choose New, then click Key. Name the new key Lab Config and press Enter. Select the Lab Config folder and right-click an empty area of the main pane, then choose New, then select Toward 32-bit value. Name the value Bypass TPM Check and press Enter. Double-click the value you created and change the value data field to 1. Leave the base as hexadecimal. Click OK. Right-click an empty area again and choose New, then click Toward 32-bit value. Name this new value Bypass Secure Boot Check. Double-click the new value and change the value data to 1, keeping the base as hexadecimal. Click OK. Close Registry Editor and Command Prompt, and you can now follow the installation process as normal. If the hurdle you were running into had to do with the TPM or Secure Boot support, this workaround should fix things for you. This is it for today's video on how to upgrade your Windows. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss any future updates. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.